Hello loves and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be breaking down the new moon in Capricorn, which is the last new moon of 2022. It's been a very interesting year, and we are now coming to a close. So I wanted to do the last of the new moon videos, and we will be starting again for next year in a couple of weeks for the full moon. With that being said, before I get started, do not forget to use the code holidays 2023 to get 33% off all of my services. Is the last special I'm having of the year until we move into next year. So definitely take advantage of it. If you need a reading, if you need like a solar return, if you need like a year in like tarot reading or anything like that, definitely make sure you take advantage of it. The link to my website will be down below. Now, when it comes to this specific new moon, so we are pretty much about to start Capricorn season. We have a whole Capricorn stellium for this new moon. The planetary positions are as follows. We have the sun in Capricorn, moon in Capricorn, Mercury and Venus in Capricorn, Mars and Gemini in retrograde, Jupiter in Aries, Saturn in Aquarius, Uranus and Taurus in retrograde, Neptune in Pisces, and Pluto in Capricorn. So we have 5 planets in Capricorn. There's a lot of earth energies. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to show you guys the tarot as well. December tends to be the time of the year where generally a lot of people are down energy level wise, wanting a lot, but also down and very self-critical about themselves because of what didn't get accomplished, what didn't get, had during the year, the past year. And so there's a lot of, self-analytical energy going on. And so when you look at the aspects, we have the sun in conjunction to the moon, obviously, because both of them are in Capricorn. So ego-wise, we're definitely navigating from Capricorn energy for this new moon. The thing about Capricorn energy, though, and I can tell you, I'll ask someone who has Capricorn stellium, is that it can be very self-harsh on your own self. Due to us being very critical and being very mindful of time, how it's being used, how it is wasted. And y'all know I told y'all a 1,000 times, our biggest pet peeve is wasting our time. So when it comes to the sun in conjunction to the moon, while the energy itself works well together within Capricorn energy, because the energies are a little bit low right now, as we're entering Capricorn season, you might see a lot of realization, self-judgment. You might feel a little bit down on yourself. You might feel like you haven't been doing enough. Your ego might also take a hit for that. And that also could be karmically due to it being a Saturn rule season. Let us not forget that Capricorn is a Saturn rule sign. So the energy is very serious. It's not super playful. It's not super loving. It's a very serious energy. So it tends to feel very serious, and that can impact our mental health in a very quiet way. Like, it can make us seem more quiet than usual. It can make us seem like we're more visibly like just hidden than usual. So keep that in mind as well when it comes to the energy. Now the sun is going to be in a square with Jupiter, with Neptune. The moon is also going to be in a square with Jupiter and with Neptune. So we do see the way that the planets are relating to each other. Jupiter is currently in Aries. Neptune is currently in Pisces. So the sun and the moon in relation, like that Capricorn energy in relation to where Jupiter is in Aries right now, Neptune being in Pisces, both of those signs are very different than Capricorn. Aries being the most like Capricorn, but there's a quickness with Aries. There's a, okay, but I wanted to do this. I can still get this done. I can still do this. I can still, do this either quickly or faster than I thought that I was going to get to. If you're being harsh on yourself for something that was going to take you maybe a couple of years to bring into fruition, that Jupiter and Aries placement right now, that transit can make you feel like, you could still do it. And it's not that you can't do it. It's about, Capricorn energy is very much realistic energy. It's about being aware of what's going on within the physical realm, but also being realistic. Aries can ultimately, you know, skip some steps but still get to the destination, just because they have a sense of urgency with their cardinal energy is fire versus earth, you know, versus that grounded energy. And because fire spreads so quickly, it can move a lot faster than earth does. So that's like the difference between that Capricorn energy and the Aries energy that's very much there. So with the sun in a square with Jupiter and the moon in a square with Jupiter, it's like ego wise, emotional wise, we know that, you know, some of our goals, some of the things that we want to focus on, that they're doable. We know that, you know, we just need to put more time and effort and all that stuff. But the fire energies are like, yeah, but you can still get this done like in a month. Oh no, but you could have, like, that 1 week you could have just gotten it done, but you didn't. You kind of like, you didn't do what you were supposed to be doing. Like it can make you feel like it was doable in a time period that it might have not actually been fully doable. So give yourself realistic expectations for this. The Jupiter energy can manifest stuff from your ego during this time. So also be very careful with that. Be realistic. Okay. Be realistic. But at the same time, support yourself with the energy. So because Jupiter is in Aries, it makes things manifest a lot faster. It makes things also, you know, for things to come into your understanding a lot faster, because Jupiter is still the planet of education. So Jupiter is able to accelerate how you integrate things. So instead of, you know, with the square, it can actually push you to see a resolution or a solution to something that you thought could only be done in one way, but can visibly be seen as, you know, oh, this can be done differently. Generally, the moon does not like being in Capricorn at all. So it's not necessarily, you know, the best for emotions. Okay, let's be clear, for emotions. What you can do with the moon in Capricorn is really get grounded with yourself emotionally for what the things is that you want to manifest. Instead of manifesting out of anger or frustration or pain or hurt or disappointment, try to think about, okay, how could things be done differently? Try to, again, hold on to that vision of what you originally had and see how it can be done differently in order for you to see the success. Especially because that's something that's been a theme for this whole entire year, is holding your vision. Because Neptune is in Pisces, this is a really important time for you to stay consistent with holding your vision, but also be creative about the way you see yourself overcoming the obstacles to having your vision, you know, be brought to life. So don't limit yourself in that regard. Mercury will be in conjunction with Venus. So communication wise, there is, I mean, they're both in Capricorn. There is this alignment when it comes to our goals, also our pleasure, the things that we know are going to make us feel good. Channel that and fuel that into your spell work during that time, so that you can actually have grounded manifestations that are based on reality that you can actually see, you know, manifest through. Mercury will also be in a trine with Uranus, so there can be a little bit of chaos with some of the messages and the downloads that you're going to be getting from spirit, from your ancestors. There can also be some triggering moments, maybe a quote, maybe, you know, something somebody says that just changes your perspective, or just like, you know, makes you realize something that you did not realize the whole time. You were just like, wow, I really needed to realize that. I had that moment recently. It happens. It's something that absolutely happens, especially because you also have that Mercury in conjunction of Pluto. There's something that's going to be said, thought, communicated, a message that's going to be communicated that's going to be very transformative. That's going to be like the realization that you've been needing for a really long time. And the moment that your perspective changes and you're able to think about how you're going to move forward in a more, you know, in a different way. Mentally though, it can cause a lot of chaos as well. The Mercury in conjunction with Pluto, as well as the Mercury in a trine with Uranus, it can cause a little bit of chaos. It can cause, you know, a lot of verbal downs, up and downs. And again, this can be a very depressing time for some people. So really make sure your mental health is in a good place. Take time out if you feel like you need to take time out, but at the same time, make sure that you are taking care of your spirit. Make sure that you're taking care of your body. Make sure you're taking care of your lights. Okay, make sure that you are taking care. Just self-care is definitely something that needs to be done during this time. I know it can be a very stressful time, but just take your time. Take your time. Sit with your thoughts, journal, go to therapy if you can. I know it's the holiday season, but go to therapy if you can. Try to process what's coming in a way that's not, you're not just like stabbing yourself, okay, for it. Especially mentally, like don't beat yourself up, like really look at how you can overcome what you're going through. Venus will also be in a trine with Uranus, so there's definitely a lot of changes when it comes to love and relationships. You can see a lot of, you know, random stuff happening as well. It can bring up some random like issues up that need to be addressed within relationships. It can also bring up habits that need to be broken in order for it to, you know, grow properly. It can also bring up issues with finances, so keep that in mind as far as better ways that the finances can be taken care of during this time as well. So also keep that in mind. And Saturn is still in a square with Uranus, so generationally we're still all collectively going through it. So be very gentle with yourself. The energy is not, you know, the easiest to navigate, but you can definitely, you know, if you put your mental health first, if you focus on, you know, asking for that additional support, if you focus on trying to get through all of this, you'll be able to overcome certain things that have been haunting and plaguing for quite a bit of time. So with that said, let's look at the tarot. So we have first the Nine of Cups, and then we have the Seven of Cups. Okay, right off the bat, and then we have the Eight of Cups. I'm just going to show you all of them before we talk about them. Then we have the Six of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, and the Ten of Wands. That is the whole entire reading. So when it comes to this particular moon, this is a time when again we're going to be revisiting and really holding the mirror to our faces, where we have been, you know, we set intentions, but the way we've trying to get to the manifesting these intentions and the things that we want, the way that we've been self-harming ourselves in the process and having to leave some practices, some things behind from how they've been, you know, how much harm they've been causing us in the process as well. And ultimately feeling like, okay, we need to put in the work in a different direction, but then at the same time feeling like that whole process is a struggle. Like that whole process is like, we've been trying to look at things differently or shake things differently or address things differently, but it still feels like we're still here. It still feels like we're here. We're leaving, we're shifting, we are trying to make a difference, trying to make a shift, trying to stay strong, but there's a lot of harm that has been done that still is impacting us. There's a lot that has been done that is still, you know, we're still in the boat trying to get away. We're still doing that. We're still rowing. We're still putting in the work. It still feels like a struggle. We're not all out of it yet. And that's really what it feels like. You're not all out of it yet. It has not been fully resolved. It's still in the process of being resolved. So be very gentle with yourself. we're also getting confidence is your key to success, because you need to maintain your strength right now. That's definitely part of how Jupiter and Aries is going to be pushing us to stay in alignment with our fire, our passion, our vision, right? Then we have full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming, because some of you are going to have those mental realizations. Some of you need some messages. Some of you are going to need, like, it's going to come. Just let it come. But I promise you, it's going to come. It's going to come. Those messages are going to come through, and then you're going to be like, oh shit. Like, that's what it's going to feel like. It's going to feel like, wait, pause, like, and then you're going to have to sit on it. So give it time. Then we have enchantment. Okay. Please, 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 when you're doing self-care, please use the things that, you know, use that Piscean energy. Focus on the creative works. Focus on, like I tell you guys, every single month, I'm always binge watching something else. Right now, I'm binge watching Doctor Who. That's what I'm doing. And that's self-care. That's self-love to me, because that's my favorite show of all time. So for me, I literally allow myself to rewatch stuff, and then I'll find messages within stuff that I already watched like 1,000 times that are relevant to what I'm going through right now. So it's dive into the music, dive into like the play, listen to audiobooks, pick up something. Okay. Do something that read a book that you've already read, just because you know you love it. Do that, because it's gonna give you a little bit of that self-care that you're needing creatively. It's gonna need you to like look at the world differently for a few hours. You also have support and focus. Okay, support and focus, because Spirit wants to help, and they are actively I'm gonna give this message again, because I feel like this has been a running message for the past couple of weeks for some of the readings that I've had to do. Your ancestors and your spirit guides are not always going to protect you from every bad thing happening to you. When I tell you guys, the past like month and a half, a lot of readings that I've had to do have had to do with this topic, because I've had a lot of like clients book sessions with me and stuff like that, and they're like, Abby, but why is this happening? Isn't this spirit or this deity that I work with or this ancestor supposed to be helping me not have this? Like, why is this happening to me? And then I'll be like, you know, they're not going to protect you from everything. There's certain things that you need to experience, especially for certain things that you are manifesting. You need to experience, right? If you ask spirit to help you evolve, like for example, like let's say you are trying to learn more about protection work, like you're really trying to do more protective work, or you're trying to work on your intuition, what is spirit going to do? Is going to send you a situation, or allow a situation to take place where you will have to use these skills. You'll have to evolve with these skills in order for you to master them, because that's what you asked in the first place. And if those situations are not pleasant to deal with, well, guess what? You asked for them to be present. So they're not going to protect you from something that you asked to experience, right? The other thing is that your spirits are not going to protect you from anything that you actively need to experience. Certain things are things that you have to go through in order for you to evolve. Certain things are being triggered by the planets. Certain things are being triggered by community, by so many different other things. You can protect yourself for quite a lot of things that, you know, like very unnecessary things that you don't need to experience. But the things that you do need to experience, you still need to experience. A lot of people don't understand that for some reason. And it's weird, because like, y'all actively be manifesting stuff all of the time. A lot of people focus on the love and light part of the practice without understanding that a lot of the love and light stuff that they're trying to manifest in and start to draw in and bring in requires the change in their lives to trigger that catalyst moment of that shift, which means that you have to go through it before you can get there. And for some reason that doesn't click to some people. Y'all need to understand, you have support. You have a support system. Yes, but they're not going to protect you from everything, because there's certain things that you need to experience. They cannot live your life for you. You need to live your life. It is your life. They're going to help you. They're going to guide you, but it's still your life. Okay? So, and this goes to show the consequences of manifestation and intention. Certain things that you manifest to you, that you're trying to draw into you, have deeper consequences, are going to require you to sacrifice stuff that you might have not wanted to sacrifice in order to bring it in, but is required for whatever reason it is. Okay, so understand that, but make sure that you understand that focus is going to make your life shift. These intentions that you be setting, these prayers that you be praying, they're going to shift things in your life. They have to, because that's what you asked for. Keep that in mind. With that being said, we're gonna close off. Those are all the messages that came through for this. I love you guys so much. I will see y'all in the next video, and thank you so much for being here today.